Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Early morning train collision in Indonesia kills 4 and injures 42 people. ASSAR announces interim dividend for 2024 with 11.71 million ringgit payout. PANTAI DAMAI Assemblyman Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi acts swiftly on BINTAWA HILIR tragedy. A train collision in Indonesia's West Java province on Friday killed 4 people and injured 42 as authorities investigated the cause of the crash. Video images showed passengers being helped out of train carriages, some of which had gone off the rails entirely.
Ibrahim Tompo, a spokesperson for West Java Province Police, said the 4 dead were crew members, adding that a total of 478 passengers were aboard the trains. 2 crew members had died after they were squeezed between carriages. He further said 1 body still could not be evacuated because it was still buried in the debris from the cars. Ambulances gathered to take the injured to hospital following the collision at 6:03 a.m. local time near the provincial capital of Bandung. The cause of the crash was not immediately clear, but train operators PT Kai and the provincial government have said they will investigate, along with transport safety officials. Land transport accidents are common in Indonesia. A train crash in 2010 killed 36 people, the deadliest in recent years. In December last year, a commuter line hit a car near Bandung, killing 5 people, while in November, 11 people died after collision between a train and a minibus in East Java province.
Amanah Saham Sarawak Berhad ASSAR has announced an interim dividend of 2.5 sen per unit for the financial year ending June 30th, 2024. Premier Sarawak Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said this will involve a total payout of 11.71 million ringgit to be distributed to 57,613 investors, calculated based on the unit holdings as of December 31st, 2023. However, he emphasized that the distribution is based on earnings for the first 6 months of the current financial year.
Dan hal ini amatlah memberansangkan memandangkan tabung ASSAR pasca pengstrukturan hanya siap dilaburkan sepenuhnya pada bulan Julai 2023. Mudah-mudahan prestasi 6 bulan yang akan datang juga memeransang. Sudah tentu agihannya juga sekurang-kurangnya samalah. Pengagihan julung kali pasca pengstrukturan semula ASSAR ini selepas 9 tahun tanpa dividen akan melibatkan pengagihan sebanyak 11.71 juta ringgit kepada 57,613 pelabur.
He told this to reporters during a press conference at Hikmah Exchange here in Kuching on Friday. Abang Johari further revealed that the ASSAR fund restructuring, which was carried out on October 21st, 2022, had yielded positive results, with its net asset value, or NAV, per unit steadily increased to 1.0854 ringgit on December 31st last year, a growth of 8.54%. He disclosed that the gross income generated for the first 6 months of the current financial year, ending June 30th, 2024, amounted to 15.59 million ringgit. In this regard, he said 49%, or 7.59 million ringgit, constituted fixed income security interest returns, 33%, or 5.14 million ringgit, resulted from equity or stock sales, while the remaining 18%, 2.86 million ringgit, derived from equity holdings dividends interest income from money market instruments and capital gains from fixed income security sales.
Dan hanya beberapa persentage saja kepada equity market. Equity market yang kita tahu dia sangat volatile. Actually, saham at sorry lah, I have to say this. Saham at one stage sudah dah give up. Even the board give up. Saya kata no. There must be a solution to this. Alhamdulillah dengan kita revamp exercise, kita restructure ASSAR. Alhamdulillah, today we can give you dividend.
Abang Johari further added that after deducting expenses, ASSAR funds net income for those 6 months totaled 13.29 million ringgit. The new investment strategy of ASSAR, allocating at least 70% of investments in fixed income securities, has successfully mitigated the volatility of the persistently challenging equity market. He reiterated that this demonstrates the significance of diversification strategies in managing portfolio risk to generate sustainable and competitive returns.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of Amanah Saham Sarawak Berhad, Nurlia Madon, said that the restructuring of Amanah Saham Sarawak, or ASSAR, has given new life to the fund after successfully dispersing interim dividends to its investors. According to Nurlia, the distribution of income to investors after 9 years also saw an increase in ASSAR's net asset value to over RM1 per unit.
In actual fact, the NAB tu even selepas pengagihan adalah pada paras 1.6 sen. RM1.06 lah basically. So that is why we are trying to encourage investor kalau boleh sila tambahkan pelaburan di dalam ASSAR sebab ASSAR telah diberi nafas baru ya dari segi penstrukturan pelaburannya.
She spoke when interviewed by TVS on Friday.
In the wake of a devastating fire in Kampung Bintawa, HILIR, Pantai Damai Assemblyman Dato' Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi visited the 13 families affected by the early morning blaze in Kampung Bintawa, HILIR today. Dr. Abdul Rahman confirmed that the affected families who lost their homes in the incident have been temporarily relocated to the Kampung Bintawa, HILIR Community Hall, while some are staying at their relatives' houses nearby.
Jadi bantuan segera yang selain yang kita beri bantuan ialah untuk memastikan bahawa keluarga ini mendapat tempat tinggal dalam masa 2-3 hari ini. Jadi seperti semaklum tadi bahawa mereka ditempatkan di dewan ini dan insyaAllah dalam masa dekat ini kita akan berbincang dengan beberapa pihak untuk menyediakan pendapatan kepada keluarga ini sebab kita berbincang dengan penghulu dan bagaimana mereka keperluan yang mereka inginkan. Jadi selepas ini saya akan bincang dengan beberapa agensi dan Jabatan Kerajaan untuk melihat bantuan segera yang dapat kita beri kepada keluarga-keluarga yang terlibat.
He told this to reporters when visiting the affected families at Kampung Bintawa, HILIR here today. During the visit, Dr. Abdul Rahman also presented the victims with donations from Pantai Damai Service Centre, Tabong Baitulmau and Kuching Social Welfare Department and other agencies. At the same time, he also called on members of the public who want to extend their help to come to Kampung Bintawa, HILIR and meet Penghulu Lahan Sabu and the village head Tahir Kasim. The early morning blaze has rendered 44 individuals homeless following the fire that razed 9 houses at 1:20 a.m. today. 7 of these houses were completely destroyed, while 2 others were partially destroyed. A spokesperson from Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department Bomba Operations Centre reported that they received a distress call during the incident at 1:33 a.m. from Malaysia Emergency Rescue Services 999 and firefighters from the Petrajaya, Padungan and Tabuanjaya stations were rushed to the scene. The cause of the flame and total loss incurred are still under investigation. Bearing a facade of calm countenance, he conceals a heart immersed in profound sorrow, mourning the irrevocable loss of his dearly beloved child. The father of the late Nur Haslinda, Abdullah Mahad, who passed away in Seoul, South Korea on December 25th, expresses gratitude to fellow Malaysians for their support during this difficult time. Abdullah, 64 years old, maintained composure from the moment he witnessed his daughter's coffin arriving at the airport, right up to the burial.
Buat masa tu, kemungkinan rakyat-rakyat lain si tahu perasaan kami. Kami cuma ngembak gaya kami, cara orang tenang. Memang tenang lah.
Yang sedih kita baca.
Memang siapa sih sedih? kan kami sih sedih. Kami memang ada sedih. Siapa aja orang tua, anak dah meninggal, siapa sih sedih. Cuma kami sabar aja. Memanglah ada sedih.
Macam ni sebenarnya apa abangnya yang dapat tahu berita tu ke?
Abangnya.
Tak dengar dari siapa?
Ini ada telefon dengan abangnya masanya sakit 24 hari bulan. Ini ada telefon dengan abangnya, bang, tolong beli tiket, kami nak pulang, kami sakit. Macam mana? Abangnya nak bercarilah, cari tiket itu. Apabila dalam hari 25, malam 25, hari 25 ya, siangnya dia meninggal. Ya aja.
Jadi kita dapat tahu dari Abdul Hafiz abangnya lah.
Abangnya nerima masanya meninggalnya, nerima berita dari duta Malaysia duduk di Korea.
He told this to reporters after the burial of Nur Haslinda's remains at the Semarang Islamic Cemetery in Kuching at 4 p.m. on Friday. Abdullah further thanked the Federal Minister of Women, Family and Community Wellbeing, Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri, and Malaysians who have contributed their donations amounting to 50,000 ringgit to cover the high cost of repatriating his daughter's remains back home.
Kami mengucapkan banyak-banyak terima kasih sampai dibantu oleh Sida Jalanan Alam, dibantu rakyat-rakyat di Kuching tu.
Danya bantu dari segi macam ni ya? Danya bantu dari segi macam ni ya?
Okey. Masalah di keadaan bantu punya YB itu nya bantuannya berbentuk wang ringgit. Dan lepasnya bantuan rakyat Malaysia, kami ada mencarikan dana, cari dana, dapat juga dana ya, rezeki dari rakyat Malaysia lah. Dapat kami rezeki dari rakyat Malaysia, kami dapat ngembak jenazah balik.
Nur Haslinda passed away on December 25th in Seoul, South Korea, following her admission to a local hospital and confirmation of her critical condition on December 24th. The late Nur Haslinda's remains arrived at Kuching at 2:20 p.m. via a mass cargo flight at the Kuching International Airport. Addressing concerns raised by Dudong Assemblyman Datuk Sri Tiong King Sing regarding the recent shooting incident in Cebu, Sarawak Police Commissioner Datuk Mancha Atta assures the residents of Cebu that the safety and tranquility of the area are well managed. He added the crime is still currently under control in Sarawak, thus the public, including in Cebu, should not feel worried. As such, Mancha stressed that the Sarawak Police are actively pursuing the suspects involved in the New Year's Day shooting at a Cebu coffee shop.
Saya tak perlu risaulah. Semua kita tindakan yang padu untuk mengatasi perkara ini, ya, untuk mengurusan dari mana datangnya senjata api tersebut, dan keadaan sekarang ini di Cebu, kalau difokus pada Cebu masih kita kawal lah. Tak perlu risau. Ini polis tengah usaha dengan lebih giat untuk mengurusan rangkaian ini apa nama? Kes ini, yang terlibat dengan kes ini, dan kini siapkan tak perlu risau, kerana keselamatan di Cebu, Sarawak sebenarnya masih terkawal.
On January 1st, residents of Cebu were shocked when 3 patrons having drinks at a coffee shop at Jalan Wong King Hua in Cebu were shot by a suspect wearing a motorcycle helmet and carrying a paper bag. Following the incident, Cebu District Police Chief ACP Zulkifli Suhaili announced the formation of a special task force to identify the motive behind the incident. The case is being investigated under Section 307 of the Penal Code for attempted murder. Meanwhile, the body of a man found in Kampong Selang, Telaga Air, was believed to be the result of a wild animal attack. Sarawak Police Commissioner Datuk Mancha Atta said that based on the investigation, there were signs of animal bites on the deceased body.
Mayat tersebut, bila kita melihat keadaan mayat tersebut, mungkin ada kesan gigitan binatang dia, okey. Dan kita tengok dia punya tangan terputus dalam anggota yang mendapat bekas-bekas macam gigitan. Kita percaya datang daripada gigitan tersebut, mungkin daripada binatang macam buas di kawasan tersebut. Dan result keputusan badan siasat dan mangsa belum kita pergi lagi lah punya sebenar, dan kita sekilah yang bekas contohnya dia punya tangannya terputus, dan saya mungkin tidak ada unsur jenayah, dan syaki itu mungkin daripada macam buas.
Mancha further disclosed that they are awaiting the autopsy results to conclude the victim's cause of death, emphasizing that the incident does not indicate foul play. On January 2nd, the body of a man was found in Kampong Selang Laut in a bush area and was believed to have died approximately 2 days prior. No documents were discovered on the deceased, and his identity remains unknown. The remains have been brought to the Sarawak General Hospital SGH for post-mortem, and the case has been classified as a sudden death report SDR. Following this, individuals with missing family members are urged to come forward to assist in the investigation by contacting the numbers shown on the screen. Coming up right after the break, Tourism Minister Tiong King Sing says Malaysians need economic recovery, not political drama. And Malaysian drug kingpin detained in Bangkok, Thailand. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim wants the leadership of institutions of higher learning to be given the space to cultivate new ideas in the country's education. Anwar said the move was important to ensure IPTS in the country are capable of competing at regional and global levels and thus producing graduates who are disciplined and of high quality.
Saya cadang keputusan Azam ini beri ruang ke pimpinan universiti. Lebih banyak kelonggaran. KPT harus hanya menyelaraskan, mengelakkan pertindihan permasalahan. Tetapi beri lebih banyak ruang bagi universiti. Mencabar mereka dalam 2 tahun. Melihat program yang lebih baik, kalau tidak kita ubah pimpinan.
He was speaking at the Higher Education Ministry Strategic Discourse at Kuala Lumpur World Trade Center, which was also attended by Higher Education Minister Dato Sri Dr. Zamri Abdul Qadir today. At the same time, Anwar urged all educators nationwide in higher education the need to prioritize efforts to uplift the dignity and quality of the younger generation so that they can compete with foreign nations.
Di kalangan pemikir bangsa harus melihat keutamaannya. Keutamaannya adalah mengangkat martabat bangsa dan negara. Keutamaannya adalah menggunakan ruang perbaiki kelemahan-kelemahan kita. Keutamaannya mendidik anak-anak kita supaya dalam 5 tahun, 10 tahun mereka bersaing dengan yakin dengan negara maju di dunia ini.
Malaysians are grappling with the high cost of living and have no time to entertain the country's political drama. In referring to this so-called Dubai move, the bring down the Federal Unity Government, Federal Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dato Sri Tiong King Sing said the people are looking for stability and economic recovery. In this regard, he urged that all politicians should realize their huge responsibility towards rebuilding the image and restoring the confidence of foreign investors in the country. In a Facebook post today, Tiong revealed that if the actions of some individuals who are alleged to be desperate to overthrow the government for personal political interests really exists, then this clearly shows that these people deliberately want to close eyes against the contraction of the national economy as a result of various political changes in the country over the past few years. As such, he noted that the people really hope for stability and recovery in the economic sector, but these selfish actions are willing to mortgage the well-being of the people of their own cash. According to him, all politicians should realize that the Dubai move is just a waste of time and those involved in it have found nothing but failure. The Bintulu MP recalled that individuals said to be involved in trying to overthrow this government used to hold the highest positions in the country. As such, he appealed to all to respect the choices made by Malaysians and fulfill the wishes of the people by speeding up the country's economic recovery. AirAsia is providing one-way economy tickets at a fixed fare of 348 ringgit to Sabah and 298 ringgit to Sarawak for the Chinese New Year period starting January 5th. Federal Transport Minister Anthony Loke announced that these fixed fare tickets can be purchased from Friday until February 15 or until sold out.
The fixed fares are applicable for routes between Kuala Lumpur to Kota Kinabalu, Sandakan, Tawau, Kuching, Miri, Sibu and Bintulu, Johor Bahru to Kota Kinabalu, Kuching, Sibu and Miri, Kuching to Kuala Lumpur and Johor Bahru, as well as Kota Kinabalu to Johor Bahru. Loke added that it was a priority to bridge the gap between East and West Malaysia.
Last month, the Unity Government for the first time introduced a subsidized price cap of 599 ringgit on flights between East and West Malaysia during festive seasons for the whole year. That means the price cap will not only apply during the coming Chinese New Year, but also Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Kaamatan, Gawai, and Christmas. Additionally, the government also launched the Crisis Swap program, offering a subsidy of 300 ringgit for public universities, polytechnic, community colleges, teachers, training colleges, and matriculation students studying across the South China Sea to purchase economy flight tickets home. These initiatives, in conjunction with AirAsia's steadfast support, serve as a pioneering force in advancing the welfare of our citizens. I commend AirAsia's consistent dedication to the government's initiative, particularly the fixed low fare during festive seasons.
He spoke to reporters during a press conference held on Friday.
Thai authorities believe that the recent arrest of a Malaysian citizen will significantly reduce the distribution of a specific major drugs in the country by up to 70%. According to local media reports, the suspect, identified as 39-year-old Ong Jim Wah, was arrested on allegations of international drug trafficking. The arrest took place at the location where the suspect was hiding during a joint operation between Thailand and Laos on December 29 last year.
It is said that Gimwa played a significant role in acquiring drugs and coordinating operations with drug syndicates in the Golden Triangle region since 2006. The Golden Triangle is described as a mountainous area with many drug trafficking corridors that are hard to penetrate, located at the border of Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos. Meanwhile, Thailand's Deputy Police Chief Lieutenant General Panurat Lakbun stated that Gimwa's arrest could impact drug trade involving crystal methamphetamine, heroin, and cocaine by up to 70%. The arrest is part of an anti-drug campaign held between October and December last year. He added that the police also confiscated over 4.4 tons of methamphetamine pills. The campaign also resulted in the seizure of 998 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine and the arrest of 7 suspects before issuing an arrest warrant for Gimwa in August of the same year. Thai authorities also confiscated the suspects' luxury assets, including a piece of land with buildings, 2 condominiums, 3 sailing ships, 2 cars, 3 motorcycles, firearms, cash, and other valuable items. The estimated value of the confiscated assets reportedly amounts to 11.4 million ringgit.
And on to world news, Israel's defense minister has publicly presented for the first time proposals for the post-war administration of Gaza, where the military on Friday reported deadly overnight strikes. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant's plan for the day after, shared with the media late Thursday but not yet adopted by Israel's war cabinet, says that neither Israel nor Hamas will govern Gaza or reject a future Jewish resettlement there. The minister's broad outline was unveiled on the eve of U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's 4th trip to the region since a Hamas attack on October 7 triggered the war.
אבל התוצאות יהיו תוצאות ברורות. אנחנו לא עוצרים, ב' אנחנו מסיימים את המערכה הזאת כאשר חמאס לא מתפקד כגוף שלטוני ובוודאי לא כמסגרת צבאית שמשלחת כוחות, ועכשיו ממשיכים לתחזק, זה ייקח את הזמן שלו.
Questions of the future of the besieged Palestinian territory have been front of mind for many as calls mount for a ceasefire after nearly 3 months of devastating fighting. Much of the Hamas-ruled Gaza Strip has been reduced to rubble, while civilian deaths have soared and the UN has warned of humanitarian crisis that has left hundreds of thousands displaced, facing famine and disease. According to Gallant's proposed outline, the war will continue until Israel has dismantled Hamas military and governing capabilities and secured the return of hostages taken on October 7. After Israel achieves its objectives, for which the proposal sets no timeline, Palestinian civil committees made up of will began assuming the territory's governance. The text outline says Hamas will not govern Gaza and Israel will not govern Gaza's civilians. It added Palestinian bodies will be in charge, with the condition that there will be no hostile actions or threats against the state of Israel. Major rivers across Britain were flooded on Friday after heavy rain, with the government issuing more than 300 flood warnings, travel operators announcing serious disruption, and around 1,000 homes suffering damage so far. The director in charge of flood management at the Environment Agency, Caroline Douglas, revealed that the storms have also caused flooding in other parts of Europe in recent days. Meanwhile, the river trend in central England flooded, prompting the local authority to declare a major incident. London's fire service said it had to escort around 50 people to safety late on Thursday after a canal in the east of the capital overflowed. Great Western Railways said its line in 3 parts of the south of the country were closed. Roads in the worst affected areas were also closed. More rain was forecast for Friday, albeit not at the same intensity as seen overnight, with drier weather expected to follow. And that is all the updates for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.